What's up, everybody? Cliff Yates live. You're in the right place. You're in the right spot. You're on the right channel, Cliff Yates channel. Listen, it's all good stuff. It's all self-improvement, personal growth stuff. And I just want to share some encouraging words with you today. The gift of encouragement is something you can pass along. But let me tell you something. You're going to feel really good. You're going to have a lot of fulfillment when you start encouraging other people. And it's almost a way of improving yourself, really. And when you start giving people encouragement, noticing the good they're doing, and then bringing it up to them. Hey, you know what? I saw what you did there. I like that. I like that about you. Catching somebody doing good. Nobody brings that up to other people. So you're going to put yourself in a unique spot. You know what? When you say, hey, you know what? I like the way you work. I saw what you did there. Hey, good job putting your grocery cart back. I like that. Hey, everybody, thanks for checking in. I'm glad. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. I'm here in sunny Florida. It is very warm today. I got 84 right here on my vehicle clock. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. If I haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You know, I haven't read the book yet, but I was watching Arthur C. Brooks, who is a professor of happiness at Harvard. He was talking to a guy who wrote a book on the 5 different wealths, 5 different areas of wealth. And they made sense to me. It's not something I can remember exactly. I haven't read the book, but it did say we have time wealth, right? We can be rich in time that we can do and say and be and live where we want. So we can be rich in time. We can be spiritually wealthy. We can be very connected to church, God, or whatever your beliefs are. We can be rich spiritually, have a connection to our Creator or the universe, whatever it is to you. We can be rich socially, rich with friends, right? People that we connect with, you know, deep relationships, just not surface level. And we can also be rich financially. So we have these different areas in our life where some we may be very, very wealthy, and some maybe we need to build up a little bit. But we can definitely focus on that. And that's really what I like to focus on, how I can get better every day in every way than I was yesterday. Hope this finds you well today. Thanks for checking in. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it's always going to be good stuff, right? Self-improvement, personal growth, self-empowerment. You know, what can we do, the agency that we have to take control, to live on purpose, to live with intention? And that, you know, I don't care where you are in your stage of life. You can start living on purpose with intention right now, today. This can be day one. Now, if you're already there, you got things going pretty good. You got your health, you got your wealth, family, connections, relationships. You still have to maintain that. You still got to weed the garden. You got to water it, right? You got to water those relationships. You got to water all the good you've created. You know, once you've worked out, got healthy, ate all the nutritious foods, right? Went to the doctor, blood work done. You're looking great. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you have to keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Don't let up. Unfortunately or fortunately, it's a never-ending, I don't want to say battle, but it really is. But it doesn't have to be a battle. When we start habituating the things we need to do, gradually they become habits. We don't have to think about those things anymore. We can start adding other habits that we want to become the fabric of our life. When it's woven into our everyday living, you know, we no longer have to think about it. I don't have to write down on a piece of paper to do, brush my teeth. It's going to happen every day in the morning. It's going to happen every night. I'm going to floss and brush my teeth. There's no way. If I'm going to go traveling, I'm going to have floss and my toothbrush with me, because that's something that is non-negotiable that I always do. Now, you can add things to that on a daily basis, right? Bringing joy to everyone that I contact. Knowing full well, a lot of people I contact in the grocery store or out and about today, they're probably going to have different beliefs. Maybe I wouldn't like them, but irregardless, I don't need proof of anything from them. I get satisfaction out of what I do purposely, which is act with intention, live with purpose and on purpose. And I think that is probably the road to fulfillment. But that road is now, where we are now. Happiness is something we choose now. Granted, happiness can be a byproduct of our activities. Well, we can choose our activities right now. This can be day one of the rest of your life. As a matter of fact, it is. In reality, there's that song, There's Only This, There's Only Now. That's all we have really now. Yes, in the now, we can plan for the future. We can do things that set us up for return on investment later, for sure. But what do we have? We only have now. Now, in this now, we might have the wisdom and the memories from yesteryear, yesterday, right? We can take forward with us from yesterday the lessons learned, the wisdom that we've garnered, and that's important. But in fact, we only have now. There's only this today, right now that I'm talking to you. So I'm glad you stopped in here. A lot of times I connect with people on the shorts feed because I'm live in vertical mode. So I'm glad you're here. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, always good stuff, always self-improvement, positivity, personal growth. I'm going to bring with you some positivity and energy. And the channel's growing. Not the way I'd like it. I saw some fat guy yesterday. Sorry to criticize him, but he is fat, out of shape. The guy spoke very monotonously. I mean, monotone. The guy was boring on his video. The guy had like 8,000 views in 2 days. He's got like 200,000 subscribers. I don't figure it out. It was amazing to me. Although here I was watching this fat, out of shape, monotone guy, but not for that long. Just long enough for me to see, wow, he has a lot of followers. Who the hell is watching this guy? Some guy who was speaking on retirement after 50. My God. I'm 68. If I look like that guy, I turn my damn camera off and I get into the gym right now. That would be focus one. I am fat, out of shape, and I'm boring. Get your ass into the gym. Put some fire in your belly. Talk with some enthusiasm. What the hell? Not that I mean to criticize the guy. I'm just making an observation. But I'm observing. The guy was fat, out of shape, boring, monotone. And I find it fascinating that he had such a following. Probably a good-hearted guy. I didn't hang around long enough to find out. There's no way I could listen to that mono pop, 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 pop. Hi, I'm 50 and I'm retired. You know what? I found purpose into being boring. I got monetized a week ago. How the hell did you get monetized? Get your ass in the gym. Start eating some real food. Move your body. Speak with some enthusiasm. Let me tell you, if you're going to be an A player, you know what? In society, the damn bar is so low. To be a high achiever, to be an A player, you got to set your own bar. You got to set your own standards. Because if you go by life standards, the way life sets the bar, it's too damn low to be challenging. Too easy to be mediocre. So many people are happy being mediocre. I can't. I can't stomach it. I don't like the taste of being mediocre. I enjoy getting up, getting after it, challenging myself. I take care of myself. I get moments of solitude. I spend time in quiet in the morning. And then I get after it. Based on my standards, my rules, my ambitions. And you can do the same. I don't care if you're in a job you don't like. It's one of the secrets. Learn to be happy with what you're doing while you pursue what you want. You may not be in the position that you ultimately want to be in. You may not be in the job you want to be in. You may not be in the relationship you want to be in. But you can choose to be happy while you pursue what you want. I think what happens, people think, oh man, if I choose happiness now, that's going to take away my drive going toward that picture in my future. It won't. It won't. It's going to open doors for you that you never anticipated. Choose happy now while you pursue what you want. You're not violating any rule or axiom that's going to make you not as creative, ambitious, or achieve what you want to achieve just because you're choosing to be happy. You know, miserableness is not going to drive you. Yeah, anger, miserableness, frustration, there's energy there in the short term, but it's not a long burning fuel, baby. No. Choose happiness. Happily achieve, right? Don't let anything from outside coming in affect your emotion, your mood. If you gave somebody else the power to affect your mood and or your emotions, you've given that away to them. They don't earn it. They're not allowed to have it unless you give it over to them. I don't do it. The great thing about the conscious mind is we can accept or reject ideas, things people say, things that happen to us, things that are fed to us in our mind. And we're getting these from our senses, right? Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. But the conscious mind can accept or reject. So we have the power to reject. Now it's your subconscious mind, your subconscious programming that it cannot reject. So whatever you start feeding it with strong emotion, that becomes part of your paradigm of how you operate, how you think. Doesn't mean we can't change it. We certainly can. You can change programming that maybe you've had since you were a child. But your paradigm in your mind, your subconscious, has become very comfortable. So when you start operating outside of that, your subconscious is going to say, hey, hold on. What are you doing? This is dangerous. I want to stay alive or comfortable. Why are you doing something different? Why are you expanding? Don't do it. Stay where you're at. You're safe. No. People are going to tell you, hey, you got to be logical and reasonable. No, you don't. Don't be logical and reasonable. Those two bike mechanics, the Wright brothers, right? When they were developing that flying machine, believe me, they wanted to arrest these people for being insane. You guys are crazy. You're illogical. You're crazy. Because of them, we have the airplane, and we can take off from anywhere in the United States or the world. With a few hours, we can be anywhere we want to be. So don't let anybody tell you, you've got to be logical and reasonable. No, you don't. Don't set reasonable, logical goals. Don't do it. Be unreasonable. All the great achievers in the world, they've been unreasonable. They've been illogical. That's you and me, everybody. Hey, if that resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. You're in the right place. I don't know if I can see what you guys are saying. Hey, you don't have to pay your therapist anymore. You want the best antidepressant in the world? Move around. Get out in the sun. Nutrient-dense foods. Get into a gym. Especially if you don't want to go to the gym. Especially if you're self-conscious. Do it anyways. Go anyways. It's the paradox. When you do hard things, life becomes easy. You go the easy way, life becomes hard. I figured it out. It took me long enough. I'm thick-headed. But hey, that's the kind of things I study on a daily basis, very intently. You know what's nice about personal growth, self-improvement? Principles that are virtuous, the right things to do in the right way that benefit other people, our family, and those around us. We can take these ideas, learn them, and then immediately put them into practice. And then measure the results that we're getting. What if, since I want love in my life, I want good friends, kindness, started putting that out there? What if I start putting love out into the world, kindness out in the world? What would I get back? If that's what I want, what if I start by just giving it, right? What if I start giving out love? What if I expected it everywhere I go? I expect people to love me, to connect with me, to resonate with me. They're going to be on my wavelength, my frequency of energy. What if we did that? What difference would that make? I'm telling you, people, start living with intention on purpose, right? You're the CEO of your own life. I don't care if you have a job or you go and you work for somebody else. To make money, I mean, to a certain extent, we have to provide value to the marketplace in trade of money. That's okay. We need food, shelter, and we need some of the basics while we pursue greatness. And then if you're like me, eventually you want to get to a point where you're financially independent. So that's where you can live on the total income of your accumulated assets without trading time for money. Right? You get income from your assets. You're not trading time for money. So in the short term, you might have to. Let's just start focusing on getting multiple streams of income. And let me tell you, they add up. Start reinventing yourself, man. That's the important thing. Don't get into such a rut that you can't get into the habit of learning new things all the time. Some people back in the day, successful business people, they got into a rut. They had 1 hour photo shops, get your film developed, 1 hour. They had great businesses. And then the times changed, right? All of a sudden there was no film. Everything was digital. They were put out of business because they didn't roll with the times. They didn't change. People don't like to change. There's ancient stories. They had this village of huts, and they all got this disease. These huts were infected. All these people had to do was move to a new location, put up new huts. They would have escaped the disease and lived a long life. But no, they stayed where they were and they died of that disease. Why? They didn't like change. What if you could get addicted to change? What if you could like change? Right? What if you were seeking constant change all the time? You know what? I'm going to try something new. I've done that my whole life, and it's really served me well. Yeah, one time I wanted to be a pro bowler. I figured out what I had to do to get my PBA card. I became a pro bowler. Not very good. I competed in the U.S. Open of bowling, some regional tournaments. I didn't win. I wasn't that good. And then I realized I wanted to make money too. And in bowling, it was only the top 5 or 6 that were making over $100,000. I go, well, this is probably not the career for me. I loved it. I loved learning, practicing 60 games a week, getting my PBA card. There was nothing wrong with doing that. And then it was time to pursue something else. Move on to a new thing. Keeps your mind healthy. Keeps your mind and body young. You can have a young disposition. You can have a young outlook on life, regardless of the years you have. I got people in my circle. I mean, they're not there very often. Maybe I play tennis with them. They're my age or a little bit younger. Man, are they stale? Hey, these people are almost shuffling around. They're the kind of people, they never worked out or exercised. And they said, well, I don't do that shit. I'm fine on my own. You know what? And then they got to be 55, 60, 65. And all of a sudden, yeah, they had a few aches and pains. Yeah, you know what? They don't get around too good anymore. Let me tell you what, I get around great. All right, it might change tomorrow, but right now I bounce up and down. I get after it. Absolutely, without question. All right, everybody, you are in the right place. Listen, I'm definitely intent on growing my channel. It is a community of progress. All I'm going to be passing on is good stuff that I learn and study every day. And so if you're interested in good content, I mean, if you're into just politics and doom and gloom scrolling, this is probably not the channel for you. Although you can do both. You can keep up on politics, you can keep up on world events, and still be dedicated to getting a better life, to being a better you, to being a better self, to being better today than you were yesterday, right? Not competing with other people, but competing with yourself, right? We don't compare ourselves to other people, but we model them. Hey, that person has done already what I want to do, so I'm going to model what they did, and I'll probably get similar results. They've already made the mistakes along the way to get where I want to go. They've done it, so I can learn from it. How many people will do that? How many people will model the people that have the things that they want to have? Not too many. Guy makes $1 million in a year because I made $1 million in my businesses in a year. I wrote a book and I detailed exactly how I did it. How many people read the book? Not too many. Not too many. Why? We don't know. It's a mystery of life. It's a mystery. I know you're not the type of person to float around your life. You know what? We don't know how much time we have left, but we know we're here now. We know we're here today. So let's get after it. You know I love you. I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel.